everyone. My name is John Solis, and I'm the Executive Director of San Joaquin County WorkNet. And as Chairman of this conference, and on behalf of the Planning Committee, I'd like to welcome you to this year's Youth Leadership Conference. I hope you had something to eat and enjoyed your social hour with all your colleagues, teachers, friends, and dignitaries. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the President of LULAC Council 2060. This person is a homegrown individual. She is a graduate of Franklin High School. She attended San Joaquin Delta College and then transferred on to San Diego State University. She has been in banking for the past 2 decades and is now one of our Latina businesswomen in our community. Currently, she's the business owner of El Lucero's Market and Don Jose's Market. An active member of this community, she is a past president of San Joaquin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Los Comerciantes Unidos, and one of our LULAC youth advisors. It gives me great pleasure, and please help me welcome the current president of LULAC Council 2060, Teresa Lopez.
Good, John. Thank you. ¿Cómo están? I want to welcome everybody to this great event, and I want to start off by thanking the LULAC committee that helped put this together. I also want to thank San Joaquin Delta College that is allowing us to be here today. And last but not least, I want to thank the faculty. They always go beyond the call of duty, and I want to thank everybody for bringing you here today. Our goal today is to inspire you. If at the end of the day you look back and if we can inspire one of you today and motivate you to follow your dreams, stay in school, that's our goal. And with that, I'm going to give it back to John Solis and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Teresa. For anyone that is pursuing a college career or continuing education, San Joaquin Delta College is a beautiful campus that offers a wealth of resources and educational opportunities. We are very fortunate to have such an organization, an educational institution that provides those resources for us in this community. We're even more fortunate to be here with you today, enjoying the hospitality of San Joaquin Delta College. And here to introduce our gracious host is a current member of the San Joaquin Delta Board of Trustees and a long-standing member of the Youth Leadership Conference Planning Committee, Dr. Mary Ann Cox.
Thank you, Mr. Solis. I want you to give him a big hand because he's the main driving force for this opportunity for you each year. I just wanted to mention one thing to you is that on television and in the radio you'll hear that prices of colleges are increasing and that people will not be able to go to college as they have been previously, but I want you to remember that most of you will receive, if you qualify based on the income of your parents, you will receive waivers for those college fees. So you need to be sure and talk to your counselors, your teachers at the high school and make sure that you know how to get into college because you all can go to college. I also want to mention to you that the community college is a community college and is paid for by taxpayers' money. So you need to give a hand to your parents for paying the taxes because this is your college. This is for your parents. They work hard for you and you'll work hard for your children someday because this is a college where you can afford to attend the community college, and that's how I started. It's now my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you our interim superintendent, president of Delta College, Dr. Susan Cota, and another one of our Board of Trustees members, Janet Rivera. I want you to know that Dr. Cota she has worked in the chancellor's office, she has taught, She was the president of I think it was Los Positos Community College, and she was the chancellor of Chabot Los Positos Community College District. She is the first Hispanic woman to be chancellor in the state of California. So that's very wonderful. And I would like you will also get to hear a few words from Mrs. Rivera. She has been on the Board of Trustees here. This is her 5th term. She's the Vice President of the Board of Trustees at this present time, and she's very committed to each and every one of your personal success. So we'll get to hear a little bit from them now. Thank you, and remember, this is your college.
Thank you, and good morning. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of all our faculty and staff and our Board of Trustees. We're very pleased that you're here with us today. And you'll be hearing a lot of information, I know, as you go on through the day. And what often happens is when you get so much information, you don't always remember everything, but you do remember a feeling that you had when you were here and when you were hearing from the speakers. And so we hope that feeling is one of hope, it's one of welcome, because we want to see you all here as our future students. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Good morning. Buenos dias. I am so pleased to see all of you here. We've almost got this auditorium packed. I wish you a great day. Stay out of the rain, learn a lot, listen, and come to Delta College again, not just only this time or next year. We have weekend classes, it's called Kids College, and we have other classes that you can take on Delta College's campus. So please enjoy yourself today and welcome to the college, your college.
Thank you, Janet, Dr. Koda, and Mary Ann Cox. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the highest ranking Latino elected officials in San Joaquin County. Carlos Villapura was elected to the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors on November the 4th, 2008, and was sworn in on January the 5th, 2009. Supervisor Villapura is an active Californian and was born in Stockton. He graduated from Franklin High School and earned a bachelor's degree in social work from California State University, Sacramento. He has a daughter, Laurel, and prior to his election, he served as his legislative assistant to former Supervisor Steve Gutierrez. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my boss and member of the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors, representing the first supervisorial district, Carlos Villapura.
Wow, what a crowd. I mean, just turn around and look here. We have, I know we have Tracy here, right? And I know we have Manteca, right? What about Stockton? Am I missing anyone? Linden? We have Linden here? What about Lodi? Oh, well, Lodi is missing out. Am I missing anyone else? Shout it out. Lincoln. Okay. Well, first of all, good morning. I wanted to thank everyone. I think I went around and introduced myself to a lot of you guys that are here. And let me tell you, you guys make me proud of who you are, because not so long ago, you know, I don't know if you saw these people, not so long ago, I was on that side listening to all the dignitarians and all these great speeches. But my point is here, is that life changes really quick. It changes today. A minute ago, Mr. Solis was giving me my bio, gave a little bio of who I am. And let me just give you a little definition bio. is a detailed description or account of someone's life, story, highlights, and experiences. That's exactly of what you guys are doing now. You guys are building a foundation today of going out and listening to all the speakers that are going to tell you about what they do and how to do it and how to get involved and what classes you should take. Is that layer. It's like building a house. It's that foundation. So with that, I wanted to say a few things is that be safe, be smart, and make your parents and your family proud, just like you're making us proud of being here today. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mayor Ann Johnston.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here today as your mayor, as the mayor of Stockton, at any rate. I know we have representation from other cities in our county, and we're so glad you could come to Stockton, come to Delta College, and see what this wonderful college has to offer. You know, some folks just think since I'm mayor, I was always thought I would be mayor. Well, that's so far from the truth. You can't believe it, because I grew up on a farm down in Merced. I'm the oldest of 7 children. My family never thought that any of us would ever go to college. My father didn't go to high school. He only finished 8th grade, but he grew up during the Depression when many young children had to work to help support their families. My mother was fortunate. She finished high school, but they always believed that had they had the opportunity, they would have done so much better in life. I was told as a high school student, if you want to go to college, you're going to have to do it on your own. We can't afford to send you. And I hadn't really thought about it until one of my teachers said, you really need to think about college because you're bright enough. You should be able to do it very well. You work hard in school. And I started thinking about it, and I decided, yes, I wanted to go to college. I wanted to become a teacher, and that was the way you became a teacher. So long story short, I worked summers, I worked after school, I got scholarships, I got loans. I did everything I could to finish college because I knew from my parents encouraging me that education was the key to my success in life. And even though back in that day, my dad sometimes said, why are you that interested in finishing college? You'll just get married and have a husband to support you. Because back in the day, not that many women went to college. And I said, but Dad, what happens if I find myself on my own, having to support myself? I need a college education for myself, for my future, so that I always know I have opportunities and can take advantage of them. And I have to tell you, it's because of my education, my high school education, my college education, my belief that education is the key that has opened the doors for me in my life. Had I not had that education, it would have been very difficult for me to take advantage of becoming a business owner, becoming a school board member, becoming a council member, and certainly to become mayor of the city of Stockton. I look back. That education that I received and continue to receive, because everything I do every day adds to the knowledge that I have. That education laid that foundation for me, just as it will for you, so that you can succeed in life, because that is your ticket to your future. That is the passport to the rest of your life. And I'm talking about finishing high school as a basic bottom line. You have to finish high school, and then going to college. community college, four-year college, whatever college you can afford and can manage. It's so important that you add to that education, because as the world becomes more connected, and it's very connected these days, the education you receive is critical to your own personal success, the success of your future families, your future children. My parents didn't have the opportunities that I did as a young person to go to college. My father to even finish high school. So I feel very blessed, very fortunate that I was able to take advantage of community college, of scholarships, of working. You put it all together because it's important, so important to get that high school diploma, to work toward getting a college diploma, to set yourself up so that you have the basic foundation for doing whatever you want to do in this life. And right now, your job is to be the best student you can possibly be at whatever grade you are, because every grade builds on the next grade. And it's so important that you take that job of being student seriously, because that is your work today, and it passes way too quickly. And so take advantage of every moment in every class that you attend, and listen to every teacher that counsels you, that gives you advice, because they'll see things in you that you don't see. I know my teachers did, and I thank them, because they were the ones who gave me the impetus. They're the ones that gave me the desire to go to college back in the day when many women did not. I won't tell you how far back that was, boys and girls. But the point was, women didn't in those days. Today, we have huge opportunities, and there's no excuse. There's no excuse for any of you not to go forward, finish high school, and finish college. And I wish you well, and I know one day, one of you will stand here as mayor of Stockton. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann, for those words of wisdom. You know, there's a saying that you could strip an individual of all their assets, everything that they have, their worldly possessions, and an educated person within a year will get back on their feet, and bottom line will be coming forth, and he will be that somebody that they were before. So education is key, you know, and it's the bridge to your success. It's a bridge to whatever you want it to be. So really take advantage of that opportunity. I want to show you just some few slides. Take a look at them. There is a strong relationship between education and money. Just look at the value of an education. Annual income for a seasoned veteran high school dropout, individual that's working and has been working for quite some time, you're looking at $31,000. A person with a high school diploma goes up by $9,000 to $40,175. With just 2 years at Delta College, you get your AA, now you're getting closer to $50,000. You go 2 more years, and now you're making $71,000 plus. You get a master's degree, and you go up by $12,000. So ask yourself a question: is it worth my taking the time to get an education? If your annual salary increases by that much, you do the math. It's worth it. And as you get older and you get those promotions, it's a lot better. Okay, the highest education noted here for a professional degree is $141,000. Well, I could tell you that there's some chief executive officers that are making millions of dollars as an annual salary. Okay, there's heads of state, administrators that are making in excess of $250,000. Education is valuable. Those that don't are never prepared to take advantage of those opportunities that come their way. So education is very important for you and for those individuals that you love. If you ever want to be in a position to provide everything like an education and vacations for your children, you will be able to afford it if you have a good education, and you'll be struggling if you don't. Next slide. Lifetime income in millions. Okay. High school diploma, you probably make $1.4 million, 1.38. You look at an AA, 1.8. The BA degree, 2.4. Master's degree, 2.8, closer to 3. PhD, 3.7, closer to 4. Professional degrees, 5, in excess of $5 million. And as I tell you, other jobs, other opportunities within those areas will give you even a lot more. And you'll be able to do whatever you want to do, and you will be independent. Because, hey, income, financial stability, financial independence lets you do whatever you want to do, and you could be whatever you want to be. So keep in mind, education is very important. Next slide. Unemployment by education. Right now, we're suffering through some great economic depressions and recessions. Unemployment rate here, just in the city of Stockton, is about 21 to 22%. In San Joaquin County, it's 18.5. And if you want to know who are the ones that are more likely to be unemployed, well, you look at your dropouts. This is average, 14.6. Right now, during the Depression, it is in excess of 36%. High school diplomas, okay, less likely, but still it's high. Right here, on average, on a normal economy, it's closer to 10%. Right now, it's probably 20 to 25. With some degree, with some college degrees, college education, it becomes less. So the higher, the more education, the better prepared you are, the less likely that you will be unemployed. So keep that in mind. You know, even if there's a doctor that gets unemployed, I'll tell you that it's just a matter of time before that person gets another job, and he will be competitive against anybody else below him. Now, if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, if you're a dropout with limited skills, it's going to be a struggle. And we have a lot of individuals where they haven't worked in years because it's been difficult. This labor market is very competitive, and those with more work maturity, greater skills, beat them out for those jobs. So keep that in mind, because let me tell you, you control your destiny. You control your future. And I don't need to tell you, you could ask your parents, ask your teachers, ask the people that you consider to be your mentors, and they will tell you, education is the key. It is worth staying in school, graduating, and pursuing, continuing education. There's a lot of people that struggled, they dropped out, but then they realized that they needed to get an education to do the things that they wanted to do. They went back while they were working. They got their high school degree or their equivalency. Then they went on to college, working at night. I'm sure some of your parents might have done that. And as they got that additional education, they got those additional opportunities, and then they were able to have a little bit more stability in their life. Right now, you're young, and you got a support mechanism. You got your family. While you have your family that can help you, take advantage of your youth and stay in school. Because let me tell you, it is worth it. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Roberto Dansie is widely recognized as an eloquent speaker and an authority on cultural diversity. He is an accomplished and award-winning speaker, author, trainer, and clinical psychologist. He is repeatedly chosen as keynote speakers by some of the most prestigious organizations like the Mayo Clinic, Cornell University, and CNN. He has been published in numerous health journals and is a regular customer for the Consolidated Press. He is a published author of 2 books, Internal Wellsprings and Semillas de la Esperanza. He is sought out by educational institutions as a motivational speaker and trainer. He's the recipient of numerous awards, including the 2005 Humanitarian of the Year from the University of Missouri Columbia School of Medicine. Robert has been commended for being a dedicated foot soldier for the health of this nation. Robert is a faculty member with the Psychosocial Trauma of War Institute at the University of Missouri Columbia School of Medicine. But Robert is a man of many talents. In 1981, he won the World Championship of Martial Arts in Busan, Korea, and has shared and taught these skills to youth and families throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Roberto Dansie.
Gracias, hermano, gracias. Qué bonita introducción, qué bonita presentación. Buenos días. Good morning. When we say it in Spanish, it's plural. In English, it's singular. Good morning, meaning today, have a good day. In Spanish, it's buenos días. It means tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and even if I don't get to see you, let every morning be a good morning. They also tell us a powerful truth. El que madruga, like in a choir. Yes, we have sayings, refranes, and the sayings are like mini gospels. They contain great truth that has been passed generation after generation. El que madruga, Dios le ayuda. That means destiny is going to favor those who are ready, those who start early, those who begin when everybody else is sleeping. So you got up early today. I can see it in some of your eyes. Some of you are like, but today it is up to you to make it your day of destiny, the moment of truth. And I have wonderful things here to share with you today. Things that hopefully are going to help you in your journey of life. I am very fortunate to be surrounded by teachers, by mentors, by guides, by friends that we go back many, many years. El que a buen árbol se arrima, buena sombra le cobija. That means if you get close or near to a beautiful tree, its shade will protect you. It will cover you. So today, make it a point to get close to people who are going to be key to help you fulfill your destiny, your dreams. In the journey of life, the Native Americans, including the Native Mexicanos, they represented this cross 11,000 years in the American continent. This cross. And they told us that it was the 4 directions and the 4 stages of life. In the east, sunrise, the direction of children. That's where life begins, with the sunrise. In Spanish, we call it Oriente, because that's where people would orient themselves. I know where the sun rises. I know now where it sets. Sunrise, that's where the pyramids. By the way, the biggest pyramids in the world are not in Egypt. The biggest pyramids in the world are in the American continent. And they were built, yes, by Mexicanos. Sí se vale. So the East, it is the direction of inspiration. It is the early life. It is the body that grows. Anybody who has a baby, you know that they are very physical. You have to be on the watch. Inez knows a lot about this. She had her little one. And they want to eat everything, so you have to watch them. And they watch you too. They are very quick. And their body is in constant growth. So it's a physical development. Then, north, hot, intense teenagers. That's the north. Out of the four directions, the most challenging direction is north. Mexicans today, when they get lost, me norteé. That's where people lose their direction. So you want to be very careful. Yes, like in the East, we have physical development. In the North, we have emotional development. Your heart, your emotions, they tend to rule your life. So we have to be careful with that. You suffer from what psychologists call emotional thinking. Mira la que bonita. I was going to learn math, but I am just paying attention to Maria. And we have to be careful with those energies. So when you're in the north, you have to cultivate the other parts of being, your body, your mind, your soul. You have four: body, heart, mind, soul. So when you're going to the north, you have to compensate all of that energy, all of those emotions with a dream. Have a vision quest. What is a vision? A vision is having a dream with your eyes open. Is seeing yourself through time and space. You see yourself in the future, but you see your future now. And if you like it, you say, that's the future I want. And if you don't like it, you change it. Because you still have great power over your future. This is the only time where you can really manifest your future. That's why in the native traditions they said, when you are in north, you need to have a vision quest. You need to have a powerful dream. Because the dreams are wings of the soul. That's the power of dreams. And I was talking to a young lady, and I told her, mija, ¿cuál es tu sueño? And she told me, mi sueño se llama Pepe. And I said, no, Pepe is not a dream. Pepe es una pesadilla. De Pepe vienen los pepinos. Cuidadito. Your dream is not your love. And that is a confusion young people make. Your dream is not your love. Your dream is your dream. Your love is your love. Your love is like a flower. Your dream is like a river. You need the water. And with the river, you can nurture your love. But without a river, without water, and that happens to a lot of people. They left their dream for Pepe. And after a while, dicen, ay, ya no lo quiero a Pepe. And you see them together. I don't like him, I don't love him, but I need him. Es una relación de a huevo. So I'm going to tell you, mija, before Pepe, your dream. And your dream can take care of you, and you take care of your dream. And if you end up with Pepe, you tell him, Pepe, I'm with you not because I need you. I'm with you just because I love you. But the moment that love doesn't work, cuidadito. A mí se me trata con respeto. Un aplauso a todas nuestras niñas. For all of our girls. So please take care of your dream first. And today, no one leaves without a dream. Now, some of you already know your dream. Fantastic. You already have identified the direction of your life. Wonderful. Because the direction is like the wind. And you're in a sailboat. If you know where you're going, if the wind goes that way and that's the way you are going, you go, yes. If the wind is going that way, but that's the direction you're going, you go, yes. But if you do not know your dream, the wind is going that way and you're like, ay no, pa allá no. And then the wind is going that way, ay pues pa allá tampoco. And you end up in a living nightmare. If you don't have a dream that's alive, you have a living nightmare. So I'm going to encourage you today, embrace your dream. And if you don't know what your dream is, talk to one of our teachers right here. You're going to have several workshops. And you can tell them, help me find my dream. And there's some people who are highly skilled, they help you find your dream. I remember as if it was yesterday when I ended up meeting somebody who helped me find my dream. I arrived to her broken, without any hope, without confidence, without any joy. I have been born right here in California. My mama from Mexico. My papa Irish from Montana. My papa 6'5", como yo. My mama, 4'5". And I realized very early that size doesn't matter. Because my mama aquí se lo traía al cabo, mira. So every time I see petite women, I report to headquarters. They're little pero picosas. Size is not going to keep you from your dreams. And so my mama and my papa were here. My papa will talk to me in English. Robert, hello? My mama, Robertito, Nico, from Jalisco. Then they send me with my babysitter, Mrs. Nakamura, who spoke only Japanese. And you know what I did? By age 5, I spoke 3 languages. And whatever you learn at an early age stays with you for a lifetime. That's why early education is so powerful. And you grow up not knowing the word no. That's why everybody else tells you no, 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 no. But you are a total yes. Yes, sí puedo, sí puedo, sí puedo, sí puedo, sí puedo. That is your power. And without even going to school, I already had mastered 3 languages. And I learned by looking at people and seeing them, oh no, this one doesn't speak Japanese. Oh, Español, ¿cómo estás? This one, oh, hello, sir. Yes, not here today. Talk to you later. I will learn the emotions, the ideas, the inner makings of languages. So embrace languages, my friends, because languages are going to be the most powerful tools to deal with ideas. And you're very fortunate if you speak at least 2 languages. Spanish and English, magnificent languages. The greatest writer in English, William Shakespeare. The only book that we know for sure he had, and I know it because I've seen it, I've been in London to see this book. It's a book published in Spanish. Don Quixote de la Mancha. William Shakespeare was reading Cervantes Saavedra. And Cervantes in Spain, he was reading William Shakespeare. They influence each other. And words that did not exist in English, Shakespeare introduced them. 21,000 new words created by Shakespeare. And now everybody says it's English. Le dije, sí, pero por el español, cabrón. So if you want to speak good English, learn Spanish. 40% of the whole content of words spoken in the English-speaking world, 40% are of Spanish origin. So next time you see somebody says English only, tell them, yes, that's why you have to learn Spanish. Because that's the roots. So Shakespeare, he didn't have the small talent that exists in some people today. His mind was open. And because he received the inspiration also from Cervantes, he also provided it to him. And amazingly, these 2 gentlemen, they died on the same day, on the same month of the same year. They appear and disappear together. These are 2 worlds that are coming together. And you have the power to read them in Spanish directly and in English directly. What a blessing. And you can form bridges with the world if you master your languages. So when you go to school, Yes, English, fine, but don't forget your Spanish. It's going to provide you with powerful tools for your destiny. And so I'm listening to my father, English, but he doesn't speak Spanish, so I talk to him in English. Mama, I talk to her, but she doesn't speak English, only Spanish. So I talk to her in Spanish. With my brother Carlos, English and Spanish and Japanese. I find the word, whatever language it comes in. And he is fortunate because he speaks these three languages, so we can communicate beautifully. There is a powerful word in Japanese. It means have strong will. Without strong will, you cannot fulfill your destiny. So the strong will, it comes from here. They call it Bushido. Bushido. Oh! And you can feel it in people. Sometimes I'm close to somebody, whoa, big Bushido. Other ones, oh, he doesn't have any Bushido. And Bushido is something you can grow with determination. There's people, they are not going to give up, like Cesar Chavez. Si se vale. He would have a vision, he would have an idea, and he would put it in practice. And his will was contagious. Energy is contagious. So sometimes when you are fortunate and you have a leader like him, everybody feels, yes, we can. Si se puede. Yes, we can. And so I arrived to Mexico. My mama, she was constantly telling me, ay, ya nos vamos para atrás. We're going to go back. And I'm like, where? To Mexico, no, aquí. And she would be like, allá. And I would be, no, aquí. And so one time we went to Mexico. And I remember she arrived to Mexico and she was like, and my papa arrived. Doesn't speak the language, starts seeing things. And my mama, ándele ca. Pa que sienta lo que yo sentía. Nothing teaches you more has been in the moccasins of your brother and sister. Then you really understand. And I was over there. And I remember some young people, they saw my papa. He had blue eyes. We call him gringo. Some of them had just been deported. So they see this gringo. So they tell him things about his mama. But my papa doesn't speak Spanish. So he's, hello to you too. But I understand English and I understand Spanish. So they tell me something about my papa. To be culturally correct, then I tell them something about the mama. And then fights will happen at times. And I had to learn how to be an agent of peace and harmony in my community. And I was very fortunate because I found the right teachers. And the first one was my grandmother. I remember asking my mama, ¿Qué soy yo? What am I? And mama was like, eres mi hijo. You're my son. I said, yes, but what am I? And then she told me, well, you're descended from Spain. You're Hispanic. Be proud. And when they sent me to Mexico, I see this lady, white hair, braids, sandals, and she's coming to hug me, dressed like an Indian. And I'm like, and my mama says, vaya, abrace a su abuelita. Go and hug your grandma. I'm like, mi abuelita? Sí. And I go and I hug her. And believe me, the arms of your grandmother, they have medicine. They can make you feel at home. They give you so much peace. That's why in the Latino culture, they embrace a lot. A lot of hugging goes around. If you are within 10 feet of my grandma, she will hug you. And I remember I was not so used to that. So we're like, ¿qué trae? And she will hug me. Human beings need 4 hugs per day. So when you go home, tell them, me debes. You owe me some hugs. So she hugs me and I feel home. And I look at her and she had wrinkles within her wrinkles. But she was the most joyful face I had seen in my life. She looked at me with so much light and I'm like, ah. ¿Tú eres mi abuelita? Sí. Le dije, abuelita. Yeah. We're from Spain. My grandma looks at me, thanks for the tip. She looks at my mama, ¿qué le estás enseñando a este muchacho? And then I told her, no, sometimes I get confused, English and Spanish and Japanese. She says, don't worry, Roberto. You need more languages. So she teaches me Toltec, which it is the old Mexican language, Nahuatl. And she teaches me Maya. Within 1 year, I speak those 2 new languages. So by the age of 8, I speak 5 languages. Si se vale, si se puede. And then they send me to school in Mexico. How many of you have ever been in school in Mexico? Over there, math, it's harder. They teach you math earlier. They're pretty tough. And no excuses. And I remember going to school, and I was starting to look around. I've never seen so many faces like me. I'm like, but in the Mexican culture, you're not to sustain the look more than 3 seconds if you're looking men to men. But they were new to me, so I was like, and the girls, they were looking at me, but from the side. And I remember holding my eyes with this young man, and he was looking at me, and then he went like this. Which was pretty cool. So I tried to answer his look. So he goes like this, so I go. And you want to be careful with your neck language. This means, what's up? And this means to your mama. So you don't want to go that excess. And then he just tells me, a la salida. And I'm like, ay, vamos a ver qué nos dan a la salida. And then they will ask me, ¿de dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? This is the first question Latinos ask. ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? Always. So I would say California, because I went to school here. And then they would say, mira, este habla re curioso, pregúntale. ¿De dónde eres? California. Mira, así, mira. And finally one says, ¿por qué dices así? California. Y le dije, pues, ¿cómo se dice? California. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say it that way. California. I think he's not from Austria. Para mí que es de Ciudad Juárez. And so he tells me a la salida. So I go to la salida. A ver qué nos van a dar. And he didn't even wait until I got close to him. Boom. So I arrived home. And my mama, mi hijo, ¿qué te pasó? Tu México lindo y querido. Mexico. Oh, what are we going to do? I brought you from the state because you were having a hard time over there. Y mírate ahora. And I remember thinking to myself, no soy ni de aquí, ni de allá. And I was thinking to myself, I'm neither from here nor from there. And I was feeling pretty down, and my grandmother appeared again. And she told me, Roberto, I heard what happened. Yeah, that's happened because I'm neither from here or from there. She said, oh, Roberto, people come from? No. From the United States. What's now the United States is the original birthplace of the Mexican people. It is called Aztlan. Aztlan. I said, really? And I started writing it down. And she told me, whatever you say Aztlan, it means land. And means the crane. Aztlan, the land of the crane. People from there were Aztecs. And they were coming from the north. And we had a vision that one day people from the four corners were going to come to America from the north and the south and the east and the west in the four corners. And this was going to be a country that was going to bring humanity together as brothers and sisters, and we're going to teach how at a critical time. That was the vision. Wow. I said, good. And you're coming from the north and you're coming to the south. That was established by Tenoch. And that's why we call it Tenochtitlan, the land of Tenoch. So whenever you see the word Tlan, that means the region. Tell me words that start or end with Tlan. And I'm like, Autlan, Teotitlan, Cuyutlan, Zapotitlan, a whole bunch of names with Tlan. So whenever you see this word, know that it was named by our ancestors. And I start learning, oh, I belong over there and I belong over here. Soy de aquí y soy de allá. I am from here, from a few years ago, I visited of the oldest tribe of Canada. And the chief of the nation doesn't speak English. Had to use a translator. Took me to cave in Canada. He had asked me to draw the oldest symbol of the tribe. And I put the symbol Ojin, like grandmother taught me. Symbol of movement. And he's like, wow. I have to take you to sacred site where we will continue this talk. And 3 other elders came with him and his grandchildren. The guy was 6'7". They're big. And told I'm older. Estoy haciendo chiquito. We go into this cave. There's no up to waist, and they light torches, and then they put this. It looks like a white rug, but very comfortable, and I sit on it. It's really nice. They use the word tatanka, like the Lakota. I said, this is buffalo. It is the of the last white buffalo 400 years ago, and they have it, and they only bring it out for sacred ceremonies. Sitting on it, I'm like, and they said, no, no, no. And then with the churches, they illuminate the cave, and I see the symbol that I had drew in the sand before. The symbol Oji. He sits with the elders, sacred pipe, and me, and they told me, welcome to your earth. This is the land of your people. And so I share it with you. Our ancestors were all the way up to Canada. And they even had a place where there was a delicious fish. And this is my mother told me. It's so powerful. Fish filled with enormous healing. Their men, they were going to have children because they eat this wonderful fish. Now, and they call it meat. That's great. It gives you a lot. Fish is called meat. Land or region of this fish, they called it Michi Clan. Michi Clan, the land of Michi. When the Europeans came to America, they could not pronounce correctly, so they call it Michigan. There. Of the people. And today, and you say Nick, to say land of Awak would say Nick Anawak. Nick Anawak.